Okay, this is part one of orientation, or this is my orientation video. Man, I need to shave.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Why don't you guys sit back and enjoy this video? Let's go for a ride.
All right, orientation. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm David H., your host. Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the bell. Ring that bell. Share these videos. Now, this is not a trucking site. I do talk about trucking. I do talk about my experience at Prime, but I do talk about other stuff. So, hey, you may or may not find me interesting, or you may not just ban me from life. I don't care. Anyways, orientation. So, I end up calling my recruiter, talking to her. She kind of scared me a little bit about trucking here. The way she, hey, expect this, expect that, expect the other, but don't expect to go home. She made it sound like, yeah, don't be planning on going home when you're in training. I can understand why. And her thing was, because I was like, I was going to need to move in the middle of this. And when I told her that, she goes, you know what? Move and then go trucking. She goes, we really don't want you to, because I was thinking of do orientation. Get my CDL, then go move and get my own truck and whatever. No. She goes, once you do that, we really want you to be right in the hole. You're on your own, so you remember what you learned and da-da-da-da. So, yeah, whatever. I decided when it was time, when I closed escrow on a house, I called them back. It was like a month later. I said, hey, I'm ready to come in. Okay, great. We'll send you a bus ticket. No, that's okay. I'll get there myself. When do you want me there? Guys, you don't want to get on a Greyhound bus. I thought for a minute that, oh, well, that's their test to see if you can be tortured. Because I've never been on one, but I've never heard a good story about being on a Greyhound. So I recommend you don't do it. So I decided I'm going to fly. I was in California. I was only going to Salt Lake. As a couple hundred bucks. No big deal. When we went to go get the ticket, guess what? There's no coach class tickets. There's only first class left. So it did cost me about $500. I flew first class to Salt Lake. It was really nice. I wish I had more class so I could fly like that, but that one first class trip, and they banned me from that. And they said, hey, you low class. So anyways, I get to Salt Lake. I'm kind of overwhelmed. As you heard in the last video, it's been me, my wife, and daughter. Boom, attached. What does it say? Recording will be stopped and saved when you answer the call. Okay. Welcome to my channel. I'm David H., your host. Well, no, let's do it right. Melissa's not here. If you're new to the channel, you don't know who Melissa is. Melissa's my lovely co-driver and wife. Lifelong soulmate, whatever you guys want to call it. Anyways, this video I've been wanting to do for a while. I did it at the beginning of my YouTube, when I started YouTube. It was about my experience going through orientation, TNT, PSD, all that good stuff at Prime. I kind of just touched on some things. Didn't really get too involved with stuff. After 3 years at Prime, 3 years of watching what YouTube's turned people into, and I'm going to just say it. Anyone who knows this channel, they know this channel to be, I like to call my channel a non-fake YouTuber channel. What I mean by that is you've got guys on YouTube that will pretty much tell you anything you want to hear to get YouTube subscribers. I'm not too keen on that. I don't like giving half-truths, partial truths, or just wrong information. If you ever get wrong information from me, it is 100% because I was ignorant. I didn't research it, didn't know the facts, didn't know whatever. But anyways, enough about that. Let's get into who I am and why I started trucking. Then we'll get into the fun orientation. Anyways, like I said, I'm David H. I've been known as David H. throughout my whole life. Reason being is my last name is kind of difficult to pronounce. So all through school, it was always, hey, David H. And, or it was David, and I'd are you trying to say this? Yeah. Okay. You know what, David? We're going to just call you David H. from now on. Let's get the shadow out of my face. Why don't we do that? Okay, I think that's a little better. We went ahead. We got overhead lights right here that were casting a shadow on my face. God, I wish I had my sunglasses because I hate my eyes. I'm going to go back to the shadow in my face because, yeah, it's just cool. That's better. I'll probably even cut that out because, man, I like to wear sunglasses because I got some goofy-ass eyes that make me look high all the time. I'm not high all the time. Anyways, the other thing you might notice about me is I'll do what's called a squirrel moment. And what that is I'll be talking about one subject and I might just kind of drift off and like so. Or like right now, I am working so hard to remember what I wanted to do this video on. And where I was, I somehow did a squirrel moment without even knowing I was doing a squirrel moment. And I've done lost train of thought. So I'm going to pause this video, figure out what video I was making, and get back to... What the fuck was I doing? What was I saying? Okay, got it. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I'm David H. Again, we got on that. I'm not going to go over that again because I'll lose my train of thought. But anyways, I was born and raised in Southern California, owned a business out there, grew up out there, owned a business out there for, 18 years, I believe it was. And about the last 7 or 8 of the years, I just didn't want to do it anymore. I wanted to do something else. Trucking was a passion of mine since I was a child. You know, I was the typical kid, watched Dukes of Hazzard, BJ and the Bear, A-Team, all that good stuff, and always wanted to drive trucks. Long story long, when I turned 18, I got married. Shortly after I was married, I just, was starting my career in the appliance repair business. Decided, hey, you know what? Why don't I go drive trucks? I don't know what I was thinking. Just got married, and I'm going to go drive. Well, at the time, I didn't know you had to be OTR. So maybe that's why I was thinking of doing it. Is just running a local or something because I went to Debbie Dustin's truck driving school in, I think it was Glendale or Pasadena, California, with my lovely newlywed wife, Melissa, and signed up for it. And luckily, they were pretty honest about it, and they said, hey, David, you're only 18. We can charge you all this money and train you to be a truck driver, and you will drive truck. She goes, but you're going to be really hard. We're not going to be able to guarantee a placement, a job placement, and or anything that's going to make any kind of money because generally, new truck drivers have got to go OTR for at least a year before you can come local. Back then, it might have even been 2 years. Things changed throughout the industry. So I said, oh, thank you, Miss Debbie Dudson. I appreciate that. I'm glad I didn't spend the money to get this training and then not be able to get a job. So long story longer, I decided not to go trucking until I was 21. Well, couple years later, I'm 21. My career is now in full force. I'm a full-fledged service technician at a local appliance repair shop in Burbank, California. And I'm now married for a couple of years, 3 years to be exact. I'm now 21. Probably not the best time to go trucking, although it wasn't in my mind anymore. By the time I was 24, I had a baby, my little Hannah Banana Butt Bread, who I'm waiting on right now, as a matter of fact. My little Hannah, my lovely wife, her fiance, and my little Hannah Banana Butt Bread Jr., Addie, who is the spitting image of it. Man, guys, I'm real quick. You get grandkids, and they look just like and act just like your baby. It is like having your freaking life a redo. So freaking awesome. Grandparents, yeah, we rock. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. I forgot what I was talking about. Don't let me get off track like that. You let me get off track. This is going to be a 14-hour video. Me just trying to get one point across because I get off track. It's not old age. I don't have Alzheimer's. There's, I won't get into it. Well, we'll get into it on another video. There is a reason for my squirrelness other than me just being mentally incapable of engaging in one person at one time for any longer than a couple of seconds. Damn it, man. What was I talking about? I know what I see. Here's the thing. I know what I was talking about. I just don't know where I was when I was talking. What was? See, again, not fake trucking right here. I'm going to tell you, truckers do this. They're not, I don't rehearse anything. I don't have scripts. You know, some of these crap you see on YouTube, man, these guys are reading from cue cards and everything else. They got mics, they got studios. The hell? No, hey man, I'm just doing this for fun. I ain't trying to make a living, trying to make no money off of it. This is just for fun. Where was I? Tell me. See, this is why I like to do lives, because you guys can just tell me what the hell I was talking about. Damn it. Now I remember. So I had to go over everything. Okay, so Debbie Dudson said no. So I'm 24 now. I've got a kid. Got a career. Trucking is no longer a thing for me to even think about anymore. So, like my job, I like my boss. My boss was the best boss in the world. His kids were pretty cool. One of his kids ended up marrying my sister for a while. Man, it was just a blast, man. My first 20 years or so in the appliance business was awesome. Unfortunately, started kicking my ass. I bought my first house in the late 90s, decided, okay, you know what, I'm a homeowner. All those years before I was kind of under my boss's wing, you know, I always either rented an apartment from him or a house from him, or he was some way helping us, so I always felt really, well, I've always been a very, what the hell am I talking? Let's just get through this. You don't need 15 stories for this one story. And I forgot okay, I know what story I'm talking about. Oh, why I've decided to do trucking. So anyways, late 90s, I decided to open my own appliance repair business. It booms right out the get-go. I'm successful. This is 2001, 2006, 7 hits. You guys all know the economy crashed. It crashed. It really hurt the business, really hurt my ego, really hurt my finances. Things got really tough for a year or two, but we recouped. We came back stronger and smarter. You know, all these life lessons, you learn something. When things kick you in the nuts, you learn how not to get kicked in the nuts again by the same thing. So needless to say, things got better, but the thing that makes me so squirrely right now started kicking in, and it started making the appliance repair a little more difficult for me. I was always what I would consider an ace technician. My buddy Kelly Smith, if he watched this video, he'll put down in the comments right now, yeah, David was pretty damn good. I always figured I was a pretty damn good technician. My company was well respected in the industry. Life was good, and then all of a sudden I started noticing changes in my mental capability of comprehending things. And so appliances started changing, things started getting a little harder for me. Things just weren't as fun as they used to be, because when you're here and you're starting to slide, it sucks. See, that's why I don't try very hard with YouTube, because I'd hate to have a big ass channel and then it fall apart because I don't live my life to make YouTube videos. I live my life to work, make money, and, you know, be happy. YouTube's just a fun thing. I mean, I dig standing here and forgetting what the hell I'm talking about again. Damn it, I got sidetracked. Squirrel, 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 squirrel. It's you guys' fault. I hope this entertains some people. I know a lot of you guys are like, this guy's a freaking idiot. How do you not only unsubscribe from him, but how do I ban him from ever getting on my computer again? So let me think. Okay, so the appliance business was getting a little goofy for me. Things are changing. I'm just not liking it. Last 5, 6, whatever years, I just wanted to do something else. Well, all of a sudden, my little baby is now all grown up and is out of school. So it's like, well, hey, you know what? Maybe it's time to start looking at trucking. I ended up breaking my shoulder, horseback riding injury. That was hard. I worked through it. Broken shoulder and all. A few months later, after my shoulder heals, I break my freaking damn foot. Well, before the shoulder, I cut my foot really bad to where I was on crutches, made it hard to work. So now there's the foot cutting incident. That heals, break my shoulder, that heals. Now I break my foot. But after I broke my shoulder, I hired an employee. I told my wife, I ain't getting on a horse anymore unless I got an employee, because I ain't working broken bones anymore. Well, shortly after I hire somebody, I get on a horse, I break my damn foot. I know, I don't ride horses no more. So I was off for 5 months, and during that 5 months, I was just so miserable going, I hate freaking appliance repair business. I just don't like doing this no more. I don't like owning a business. I don't like this, don't blah, blah, blah. So I started looking back into trucking. I did a lot of research, not only watching YouTube videos. Thank you, Junior Honduras, by the way, if any of you guys want some backing skills and whatnots and who's it's, go visit Junior Honduras. I talked to Junior a couple times via email. Man's busy, so it's hard for him to get back to his email guys. So I would probably suggest not sending him an email and catching him on a live. Or if you do, catch him on his next live and say, hey man, I sent you an email. Dude's just, he's just a busy guy. He's got a fleet. Okay, enough about Mr. Honduras. Let's get back to what I was talking about here. Focus, David. Focus, focus, focus. This is what makes me a good driver, is I can't focus. What the frig? Okay, back to what I was talking about. So I put on headphones and I watched a lot of YouTube. And I noticed right out of the get-go that there was some BS on YouTube. It's like, my God, these guys are making it sound like I'm going to get not only rich, but I'm going to be filthy rich and not have to work for it, really. Drive a truck down the street. It sounds the easiest thing in the world. So, being I was at that time in my mid-40s, on the far side of the mid-40s, I was smart enough not to believe BS when I see BS. Now, yes, I have a very big BS meter. I've got some good meters. People are pretty surprised when I go, hey, that guy's this or that guy's that, and they find out that it's true. Jeremy, Lucas, Junior. So anyways, yes, I can forget a damn right mid-sentence. I'll forget what I'm saying. So anyways, I think that's why I was such a good appliance repair guy and people liked me so much, is because I wasn't they could tell I wasn't BSing them. I used to always tell a customer when they'd call me and ask questions, I had a guy, I said, look, here's the thing. You talk to the guy fixing your appliance, ask him what's wrong with it, and if he can't say right away when he's giving you a diagnosis what's wrong with it, how much it's going to cost, what he's going to repair, and why, if he starts stuttering or dancing around, he's full of shit, send him on his way. A lot of, oh, yeah, it's going to cost this much money. Well, why, what does it need? Well, it's complicated. It's very, you don't need to know because it's get that out of my house. It's complicated, bullshit. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Okay, I remember what I was saying, kind of. A little bit. What I ended up doing is I looked at a few different companies, Swift, Prime, CR England, Knight, that was before they merged with Swift, so on and so forth, and kind of got what they make per mile. Did the math, kind of looked around, talked to Junior about, hey, what kind of miles can you expect? Talked to different people about different things, and knowing how I would run, I came to the conclusion that, David, you know what, you can make as a company driver, you should be able to take home at least $1,000 a week. So I go, well, we live in California, we got our bills, no, there ain't no way we can do it here, so I'm gonna have to somehow convince the wife that we need to move out of California. I didn't think it'd be hard because my wife, daughter, we all hated California, their politics, their nonsense, their BS government over there, governing nonsense, newts, and so I didn't think that'd be tough, but it was, hey, let's all just jump up and move out of state and start over. So I did research and I looked around and I found that, you know what, I think I want to move to Missouri. It's close to Prime because I decided Prime was going to be where I was going to go. Hadn't talked to them yet, but that was it. So I kind of looked around, seeing what it would cost to buy a house out there. I didn't want to rent. And figured that, you know what, if I was bringing in $1,000, we kind of watched our, P's and Q's here, we could do it. And then Melissa would get a job, make a couple $100, a week or whatever the going rate would be out there for the extras, that'd be great. So it came time to tell her, I remember, I can't remember if it was after work or on the weekend or whatever, but she was walking and I'm sitting, I gotta tell her, well, how do I do this? So hey, babe, what's up? Yeah, you sit down, I want to talk to you about something. She goes, okay, hold on, I gotta get something to drink, guys. Hold on one second, I'm done. I bet all you alcoholics think I was going to get some alcohol or something, man. It's 9 o'clock in the freaking morning or 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is. Water, buddy. I already had coffee, just had coffee. So, thinking about that conversation with her, yeah, Junior, you know what? My beard is getting a little out of hand. I think it's time to sculpt it a little bit. I left C1. You guys don't care about my beard. Anyways, so she said, I'm like, what's up? I said, well, you know, I've been complaining about the appliance business and I've been wanting to do something else for a while. And, because I looked into other things and she knew I wasn't completely happy. She was just smarter than I am and say, no, we make too much money here. We're not going to be able to afford to know what we have with, you going around and doing some bullshit. I kept telling her, we got to close this business. You can't do it anymore. It's just too much. I don't want to do it anymore and all that. So it was a big thing. So I think when I had this solution, I think it solved a couple of issues in her mind. Was, okay, we're going to get out of California and we're going to get away from this business. Because I think deep down inside, she knew we had to close up because it was killing us both. Physically, it was killing me. My knees, my back, my shoulders. I did that so I did it for 30 years. Wow. Is that 30 years? Oh, man. So I tell her, I said, how I haven't been liking this and I've been not happy about, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah. So what do you think about me going trucking? And initially I thought she was going to slap me around and say, are you a freak? What, are you having a midlife crisis here? Are you stupid? She's like, well, yeah. She goes, I know you like doing, you always thought about doing that. You want to do that years ago. So initially I was shocked that she was even entertaining air vent. I'm like, is there a hole in my roof? She's even entertaining the thought of me doing it. So I was like, okay. So she's like, well, how do you figure, what kind of money can you make? And yada, yada, yada. So now here's part 2 of the scare. Well, we're going to have to move out of California. Wait for it. I'm waiting for her to jump up. We had a sectional, and I'm waiting for her to jump off the other side, dive on me, and start wailing on me. She goes, really? We could do that. Really? So the next thing was now to talk to my daughter. Yeah, she was an adult. How old was she at that time? I can't remember, but she was an adult. So needless to say, we didn't need to ask her for permission or anything, but we're a family. We're tight. It's like, yo, Hannah, come here. Sit down. And of course, she probably was thinking the worst because both parents are sitting there in a serious conversation. And now we bring her into it. And it's like, I'm thinking about going trucking, closing the business, going trucking, and moving to Missouri. Because at that time, me and Melissa talked, and we figured, we first thought about going to Idaho, but then I was like, no, Missouri, it's by the terminal. Yeah, let's do that. It's, cheaper too. And we're thinking about moving probably to Missouri. Oh, cool. That'd be awesome, she says. I got a cool family, man. Both of them made no big deal out of it, and they were like, all right, Dad, let's do it. So that was cool. So that big, tough decision I was making and to talk to them and tell them went really well and was really, really easy in the end. They made it really easy. Now, so we talked a little more about it. And one of the things I was telling them, because we were so close and we were together every weekend doing stuff together and everything, I'm always with them, and going trucking meant I wasn't going to be with them, and we were going to move to a strange state and everything else. So I was really concerned about that and all this, nonsense. And I told him, I go, one of the things I would need from you guys is, while I'm out there, is not to hear the, oh my God, we miss you. When are you coming home? Please, can you come home sooner? Yada, yada, yada. Yes, it would feel good to know that I'm needed and wanted and loved and wanted back home, but to be gone from you guys is going to be hard, and for you to talk to me like that would make it even harder. That's why I tell people when they ask my advice about, hey, I want to go trucking, and do you have a family? Yes, I do. Well, make sure you have your family support, number one, and then no matter how harsh it sounds, make sure you ask them, please don't make this harder for me every time I leave or when I'm out there. Here's the plan. I'm going to go out, I'm going to be gone for this long, and then I'm coming home. So there's no reason to sit and tell, when are you coming home? Well, we've already discussed I'm coming home on this day. So do that when you leave. Hey, I'll be back in 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, this between this and this. That way you don't have to get the, oh my God, when are you coming back? And then keep the I miss yous down to a minimum. Of course, oh, I miss you, babe. Yeah, I miss you too. But not the, oh my God, I miss you so much. It's so lonely here. I don't, because that would just play. If you want to be home all the time because they're guilting you or making you sad, you ain't gonna make no money. So anyways, that's how I ended up deciding I was gonna start going into trucking. And yes, we ended up going and flying to Missouri, buying a house, coming back. Once the house closed escrow, I set up to go to orientation, because I had to buy a house, sell or close my business, and sell my house all in this window, and then move my family from California to Missouri all within a window during PSD and TNT. So there was a lot for me to do. So when you guys hear my story about my TNT PSD nightmare, kind of think about that in the back of your mind, that I had all that other stuff going on in my life, to where when people say, how'd you put up with this? How'd you put up with that? That's how. So Jeremy, we've talked about it, and you always tell me, dude, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? That's why this story right here, all that was going on in my mind, because I don't know if I articulate that to you while we're talking, or if I just sit there and say, dude, because I'm half asleep, dude. But I had all that to deal with. I had all these things, and mind you, we didn't have a lot of money saved up to do any of this. So it wasn't like I could be off, because I came off a broken shoulder, didn't work well all that time. Then when I broke my foot, my employee ran the place for 5 months, and I'll tell you, with him doing it, we were just we were slowly getting a little behind about every other week. So he was keeping us from going bankrupt, but he wasn't keeping us in the positive. Great guy. I wish him the best. He's doing really well. Matthew, thanks, man. I appreciate what you did for me back then. Wish I could have done more for you. And one thing, Matthew, you made me meeting Lucas Wilsterman a lot easier, because he reminded me of you so bad that I was able to talk to him like that on the phone and everything. I don't know why he made me, I don't know, his personality or something, but I always thought of you when I first talked to him. And so thanks for that. But anyways, yeah, so stay tuned. Watch, you can go ahead and watch my orientation and PSD video. Like I said, I'm going to redo them. Because I'm really going to sit down and think and try to, because when I tell my buddies about it, they're just like dumbfounded. It's like, yeah, I forgot about this. I forgot about that. So I'm going to try to go into detail, not because I'm trying to make my trainer be a bad guy. I'm not going to tell you who he is, but because it's more of all you hear about is all these, butterflies and rainbows, and you need to know what to watch out for and what some people go through to get into this industry and why some people fail. I may not be, a smart guy, but, I can tell you what I see and what, how I feel. And one thing for sure, I'm not going to BS you, man. If I'm BSing you, it's because I'm doing it to joke around with you, but I'm not gonna do it as a serious thing. I don't want anybody to ever make a decision to come out to trucking based off of a lie that I told.
I'm gonna make $100,000 in a year, or you know what? First year you can clear 80 grand. You know, no, not gonna do it, man. Anyways, guys, we have a Facebook page, David H, Melissa H, husband and wife trucking across America. I'd appreciate it if you go over there and say hi. You know, I post some things, pictures, things like that up over there. You know, it's a Facebook deal. You can post things you want, you know, things you're going through or whatever, trucking stories, trucking memes, whatever you want to do over there. Also got an Instagram at DavidH6571. Again, it's not much. It's more of just a, hey, check this, a neat picture. I'll throw it on there. I'm not a big social media guru. You know, I don't have these big elaborate websites or anything like that. And, you know, I'm not going to tell you to take this quiz to find out if trucking is right for you and all that nonsense BS that he's in baloney truck. Oh my God. Guys, you've seen them all. You've seen them all. There's so much BS out here. Hey man, I'm telling you, you're going to make $1 million. Oh, use my driver code. It's HAGGDA. As a referral, thank you. As soon as somebody throws a driver code at you after they told you how great you're going to be at doing this, you know, they're full of beep. Or if they sound like they're just talking to you, trying to talk you into coming over here, they're full of beep. I always thought the referral bonus was $100, and it was like, okay, no big deal. But no, there's more to it than that. You can, you know, it can be very lucrative. So watch out for baloney. A lot of these, oh my God. When you see a YouTuber is trying to make YouTube his career, you know the BS is spewing out of his mouth. Because if you're trying to live off this shit, no, you're either, no, man, that's a whole nother video. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.